Welcome, Diane Bolin here. Today I am bringing you a stretch and strengthen routine. You can use this routine by itself. Wake up in the morning, get you started, help you wind down at night before bed. It can also be used before another workout or hike or after to cool down. Stretching and strengthening is a really important part of your fitness routine. Let me show you how. All you're going to need for today's workout is your water bottle and a safe, secure place to be able to do your stretches. Some of them will be on the floor. If you prefer to use a mat, I'm just using a carpet here in my studio. Gather those things. And let's get started. We're going to start our stretch routine from the top and work down. So we'll go from standing and then we'll go on the floor for the second part. First movement, we're going to roll our shoulders back, keeping your shoulders down. It's a neck stretch. So we're going to go side to side, back to center, very slowly with this stretch. Keep your posture upright. You don't want to be bent over while you're doing this. It's actually best not to talk while you're doing this as well. We're aiming for 6 slow neck stretches or about 30 seconds. Our second neck stretch, same shoulder roll back and down, and then we're going to just tip our left ear to our left shoulder. Don't bring your shoulder up to your ear. Keep your shoulders down and just let gravity work. I know for this stretch, you've probably seen people grab the top of their head and pull it over. I don't recommend that. That puts too much strain on those tiny neck muscles. You're much better off letting gravity do its work. You're going to find as you do several reps of this each time, you'll be able to get a little lower depending on your flexibility for the day. I don't know about you, but my neck is already feeling warm. I'll always come back up to center to end. Next one, still a neck stretch. We're going to roll our shoulders back and down. For this one, I like to put my hands behind my back and grip. You don't have to do that, but it just reminds me to keep my posture upright. This is a turtle. So we're going to go chin out, chin back. Chin out, chin back. From the side, chin out, chin back. This is a great move for your posture, for the dowager's hump, maybe some double chin action. It'll help with that as well. Again, we're aiming for about 6 slow reps or 30 seconds of stretching. The slower you go, the better. Next and final neck movement. We're going to do some half moons. We're going to start by tipping our ear to that shoulder again and then rolling our chin down around until we get to the other shoulder. So half moon. Nice and slow. Here's some creaking and popping, and that's okay. If you have any pain, stop immediately. And back to center. We're now going to move from our neck down a little bit and work on a side stretch. Stand with your feet comfortable distance apart, about shoulder width, not too wide, not too narrow. If you need to be near a wall, if you have balance issues, you can do that. We're going to put our hands down at our sides, rolling our shoulders back, and letting your left hand slide down your leg as your right hand slides up to your hip. You can tell if you've gone far enough. Your body will tell you. You might find that you're more flexible on one side than the other. Absolutely normal. You will also likely find, as we do this, that the longer you do it, the farther you can go. Never force a stretch, though. It's one rule. Going a little longer here. And count to the count of 5. And up. Down to the count of 5. And up. One more hold on each side. And decide, hold. And up. Going back to our shoulders, we've got our neck, we've got our sides. Now we're going to come up and work on our shoulders a little bit. Some backward shoulder rolls. So point your elbows towards the back as you roll your shoulders. Point your elbows together. This time you are bringing your shoulders up towards your ears. Working a different part of the body. And by pointing your elbows together in the back as you go around, that helps to stretch out the front of your shoulders. One more. We're aiming for about 10 repetitions, nice and slow here. A little shy of a minute is what we're aiming for. We're going to take this another step with our shoulder roll, stepping back towards a wall of any type. Just for gauging, if you can't get your shoulders to the wall, that's absolutely fine. You can stand free and do it. We're going to roll our shoulders back, come up into a W position. If you can put your hands on the wall and your head, that's awesome. We're then going to go up and down. If you can't reach, come forward and come back with your shoulders as far as you comfortably can. And then you're going to come up and down. Nice and slow. If you're against the wall, it'll look like this. If you can get against the wall, you will feel this in your shoulders and your upper back. Looking for about 10 repetitions here. Nice and slow. And then bring your shoulders down. Shake out your neck a little bit. Now that we've got our neck and shoulders inside, we're going to work on our front and back, particularly the back, with a hip hinge. If you saw my body movement videos, the hip hinge starts in the hip. Your feet are about shoulder distance apart. Give yourself a good base, soft knees, and you're going to push your hips back as if you were going to sit down. I'm going to put my hands on my hips just because, for something to do. We're going to do 10 here. nice and slow. Initiate the movement by pushing your hips back and let that lower your upper body. If you want, you can also slide your hands down the front of your leg as long as you're not putting weight on those hands. If that gives you a little more stability, that's absolutely fine. You might notice that I am stretching barefooted. I usually do my stretch routines inside barefooted so that I can get the added benefit of stretching and strengthening my toes and my feet as well. And we will talk more about that in a later video. Okay, 10 repetitions of the hip hinge. Now we're going to expand on that hip hinge a little bit, going into a forward bend to a down dog. So we're going to breathe in, exhale, and on the exhale, hip hinge, back. You can slide your hands down your leg to the floor. We're going to walk out so that our wrists are over our shoulders. We're going to push back, again, that hip hinge, bend your knees, and we're going to just pump our ankles up and down just a little bit. Now we're going to take that forward, come down with our hands right beside our chest. We're going to push up into an up dog or back bend. If you have any back or neck issues and this hurts, don't do it. Stay with your down dog. We're going to tuck our feet under, bring our hands back a little bit, come back up into down dog again. We're going to pump. What we're doing by pumping our heels up and down is stretching our calf muscles and hamstrings. And push back through your hands, get that hip hinge, get that hip stretch. Come forward and down again. Into another up dog, back bend. And you can hang out here as long as you're comfortable. We're going to do one more set. Up, down, up dog, down dog. Feel free to adjust your hands and your feet with each movement. Position is important. Back down, up into the back bend. And from here, we're going to come to hands and knees, readjust, and push back into what in the yoga world is known as child's pose. If you can't get into this position because of mobility issues, stay on the hands and knees position. Now from here, we're going to walk our hands to the left. Doing a little bit of a thoracic stretch. That's upper back. Slowly walking our hands back to center. Push back. Walking over to the side, other side. Back to center. And one more time each side. And from here, we're going to come back up to hands and knees, shift over, down to the ground. We're going to move from our upper back to our lower back. So with your knees bent and your arms out to the side, you're going to just let your knees fall to the right. Now, you may not be able to get your knees all the way down to the floor, and that's okay. The important thing is to keep both shoulders on the floor because we're twisting our hips. And come back up. And again, if you can only go to there and that's a stretch for you and it feels like a good stretch, go for it. This is another stretch you do not want to force. Let gravity do its work. The more you do it, the more your muscles will stretch out. And again, you will find that one side or the other is going to be more flexible. It's just the way it is. And one more time to each side. And up. Last time to this side. If you want a little added stretch, you can turn your head away from your knees. And come up and relax. Okay, the last movement in this total body stretch, we're going to stretch the little muscle called the piriformis that's at our lower back that connects our two hips. And we're going to do that by crossing one leg over the other, bringing your hands through that triangle and pulling your leg up as far as is comfortable. About a 10-second hold here. We're going to come down, switch sides. Almost grabbed the wrong leg. Come up. You may also feel this stretch on the leg that's crossing over in addition to your lower back, and that's absolutely fine. I'm feeling it right now. What that means is that muscle's tight and it needs to be stretched. I'm down with that. One more time each side. And switch. Last time this side. And bring that down. Both feet down. Sit up slowly. Give yourself a minute and then come back to standing. As we mentioned in the beginning, you can use this sequence either by itself in the morning or at night to kind of start your day or end your day, or at the beginning or end of another workout or activity that you're doing, or if you just want to do some movement on a day when you're just feeling kind of off and not quite right and don't want to get into some heavy workouts, this is a great way to get your body all stretched out and everything flowing properly and just feeling better. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Click that bell, click that notification button so that you get notified when I upload new videos. And by the way, check out my Patreon page. If you would like to support me in my efforts to create new videos for you, and podcasts are coming in 2024. So if you would like to support my efforts to help you live a better life, consider contributing to my Patreon. Buy me a coffee. And I wish everyone a lovely week ahead.